Did you know that for many people, the new American dream is earning a US dollar while living in Latin America and experiencing a higher quality of life? For this reason and many others, the number of digital nomads in the US alone has grown by 147% since 2019. In this video, I want to share with you the top 7 cities that I have lived in and visited in Latin America over the past 5 years that I think are absolute paradises for digital nomads. But before I get started, I want to thank each and every person that has subscribed to this channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to this channel. So as I mentioned to you at the onset of this video, over the past 5 years, I have visited and lived in several different Latin American countries. And I've used those experiences to come up with the top 7 cities for digital nomads. These cities are ranked on the following criteria: cost of living, safety and security, internet speed and stability, ease of access to food, clothing, shelter, and the availability of the digital nomad visa, which allows digital nomads to stay in specific countries over the course of a full year without reapplying. Number 7 on my list is the capital of Chile, Santiago. It is well known that Chile is considered one of the safest countries in Latin America. However, it has a reputation for being a bit more expensive than other Latin American countries, and it is notorious for having one of the most difficult Spanish accents to understand. The cost of an apartment as a digital nomad in Santiago, Chile, will cost you around $535 to $950 a month. Of course, the prices can vary based on specific locations, so be prepared to pay more in places that are more exclusive. Santiago is a relatively walkable city, so you can skip Uber for a lot of things and travel on foot. They also have a metro in Santiago. Now, I would not recommend Santiago for people looking for an active party scene or an active nightlife scene. However, if you are happy enjoying a night out with your partner at a restaurant or at a bar, then Santiago could definitely work for you. Not to mention the modern apartments feature high-speed internet that makes working from home a complete breeze. Finally, there is no shortage of grocery stores, clothing stores in walking distance from your apartment, especially if you choose to live in the city center. One pro tip that I would give is that you always go to the street markets rather than going to the big malls when you want to buy things like clothes, shoes, essentials for day-to-day life, because you will always find a lower price. A really good thing about living in Santiago is their metro system. If you get tired of walking or if you get tired of using the bus, I would recommend you use their metro system, which is really cheap to use every single day. From Chile, we go to San Juan, Puerto Rico. I included San Juan on my list because it's one of the few places where you can experience Latin American culture without a passport and without the enormous pressure of speaking fluent Spanish. During my time in San Juan, I had an apartment with flawless, fast internet for around $900 per month. So unlike Santiago, San Juan has a vibrant party scene, and it's an increasingly popular destination for digital nomads because of the wonderful weather, diversity, delicious food, and the plus for many Americans is there's no need to secure a visa. On the downside, it is important to note that during my time in San Juan, I noticed that there is an uptick in crime in almost all of the neighborhoods. So every single year, you will see that San Juan experiences more and more violent crimes and more crimes related to theft. In fact, during my time in San Juan, many of the locals advised me not to go out at night too much because the area that I lived in was a university area, and in that particular area, robbers target the student population at night. Overall, I truly enjoyed my time in San Juan, and I definitely think it's worth considering if you're a digital nomad who doesn't want to secure a visa, who wants to live in a Latin American territory where they do speak some English. This place could work for you. Number 5 on our list is a place that I absolutely loved visiting, and it is Sao Paulo in Brazil. Sao Paulo is Brazil's vibrant financial center. A fun fact about this location is that it is the home to 65,000 millionaires who live in an area of the city called South Central. And this area is also home to 3 of my closest friends that I met when I was studying at a university in the United States. So they speak English and they never left my side during my time in Sao Paulo. A good apartment with impeccable internet speed will cost you anywhere from $450 to $1,000 a month. Although the official language is Portuguese, many people in Sao Paulo speak fluent Spanish. In Sao Paulo, you'll find a vibrant nightlife scene, especially if you're part of the LGBTQ community. And because Brazil has a lot of diversity, there is no shortage of live music, Afro beats, and nighttime and daytime parties. The food in Brazil is pretty good, though it's not my absolute favorite. And the only reason it's not ranked higher on my list is because I think you need to know a lot of Portuguese to feel completely comfortable there. And that is not an easy language to master. Overall, it's a very affordable city. It's fun, it's vibrant, and I think you will love your time there as a digital nomad. The salsa capital of the world is number 4 on my list, Cali, Colombia. This city is known for its energetic salsa dancing, warm temperatures, and friendly people, as well as its low cost of living. Cali is home to street parties and non-stop dancing. I assure you, you will not get bored in Cali. When I was there, I paid around $400 to $500 per month for an apartment with unlimited hot water and impeccable internet speed. Working from home in Cali was a breeze. In addition, I would consider Cali to be much safer than a city like Medellin. Although it still has its problems with crime, it's much more diverse than Medellin, and it's a better city overall, in my opinion. The food in Cali is pretty good, and there is no shortage of grocery stores and luxury shopping malls. So for me, Cali is a complete win-win. Moving on to number 3, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Many digital nomads love Buenos Aires because of its Latin flavor, never-ending nightlife, and low cost of living. So many digital nomads will tell you that they never get bored there. They talk about things such as ease of dating, ease of finding modern apartments. For example, a 1-bedroom apartment in Argentina or in Buenos Aires can range you from around $575 to $1,000 a month. However, neighborhoods like Palermo are more recommended than apartments that are directly in the city center, and these apartments may cost you a little bit more. The downside of living in Argentina is that the inflation there right now is extreme. And although you will have no problem with internet speed, some of the prices for essentials like clothing and makeup are grossly inflated. Overall, in my opinion, it's great for digital nomads looking for co-living and co-working spaces and cheap public transportation. If you're looking for a place where you're going to get all of your essentials met, Buenos Aires might be a good fit for you. So number 2 on my list might be a little bit surprising to some of you because of the number of videos I have made about Lima, Peru. But I want to explain why Lima, Peru is number 2 on my list. So as you know, if you've been watching this channel, Lima, Peru is one of the most charming cities on the planet, and it is home to some of the best food in the world. Aside from that, it has also attracted many digital nomads due to its natural beauty, modernization, and low cost of living. For example, an apartment in Lima, Peru will cost you around $850 a month, and I have never had a problem with slow internet or internet that cuts off. The downside is that there is no official digital nomad visa, so it might be harder for those who are remote workers to secure a visa to stay in the country long term. Now, Peru still does have some problems with crime, just like you will see in other Latin American countries, problems with motos driving past and grabbing people's phone. But if you live in the right areas, you won't have a huge problem with crime in Lima, Peru. For that reason, Lima, Peru is number 2 on my list. And the number 1 city on my list is one in which you might guess, and that is Mexico City. The reason Mexico City is number 1 on my list is it is one of the few places that I have lived where just networking with local expats can land you a remote job. So if you are living in America or you're living in the United States right now and you're looking for remote work, the ease of finding an American startup company in Mexico City makes this place a real gem. Not to mention the thriving art culture, the world-class museums, the delicious food scene. There is also a growing tech sector in Mexico City, and Mexico City has a thriving freelance community for you to increase your clientele. Now, this is really important for digital nomads who are trying to add clients no matter where they go. Mexico City is home to so many different expats from across the world. You won't have a problem securing more and more clients if you are a freelancer. When I lived in Mexico City, I paid about $950 to $1,000 a month for an apartment that was walking distance to the Zócalo. So this was an apartment that was in the city center. The internet was very fast and reliable, and I never experienced any power outage. Although Mexico City is known to have problems with crime, and many American expats are starting to feel uncomfortable because the locals are angry about gentrification, Mexico offers a 6-month tourist visa on arrival, which makes it super easy to stay long term. And for those reasons and many, many more, Mexico has earned number 1 on my list. So that's all I have for you today. If you have any other cities in Latin America that you have lived in and that you have really loved, please feel free to drop down in the comments and share those cities with us. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next week in my next video.